So here's an interesting way of trying to put an end to a conversation when somebody talks about the benefits of nuclear energy for climate change. And it's really easy to be dismissive when you're using comments like this, the idea being that, yeah, there was some really bad stuff that happened. And if you have something that has a narrative with it of great evil, it makes it quite effective to just put an end to the conversation. The literature has shown that the words nuclear waste falls into that category, where if you're talking about nuclear energy and the benefits that it gives to mankind, that the statement nuclear waste is just considered to be a conclusive statement without a technical basis or any other further understanding. It's just part of the ethnography. And so that's how these terms are being used right here. When the facts are, and this is kind of funny, TikTok has multiple times banned me from being able to post anything, because when I've been posting things, I would include a link to the United Nations expert panel, which reviewed Fukushima and Chernobyl. And with Fukushima, the interesting thing is that the dose was insufficient to create any measurable medical effects in the Japanese public at all. It was just too small, too close to background. And the real harm that came from Fukushima was asking everybody to move, making them move, really. That was huge, right? That's just a big deal to tell somebody, you have to move. You can't live at your house anymore. You got to go. You don't have a choice. That's huge. And to put that in context, in the United States, the Environmental Protection Agency would allow people to, or would make a recommendation at the minimum of 1 rem per year that they would recommend somebody move. No more than 5, between 1 and 5 rem. Somewhere around 2 rem probably is about where they would say. And to put that in context, 1 rem is about the dose you get from a CT scan to the head. 5 rem is the dose you get for a CT scan to the torso. 5 rem is a legal dose for a radiation worker per year. It's below the level where you would get any measurable medical effects. And so it's just that we're really conservative. And we do that when we design nuclear power plants, that we're so conservative. That's why Fukushima didn't create enough radiation in the environment to cause any measurable medical effects. It was designed that way so that it would be safe. And it's easy to associate, well, if they're telling us to move, it's got to be horrific, right? And it's not so much that it's horrific, it's that we're conservative. That's why nuclear is so expensive. We designed them to enable the worst case that could possibly happen, resulting in nobody getting hurt. And at the time, it was felt that if we asked people to move, that's not such a big deal as long as they're not hurt, even though a lot of people got hurt in the Fukushima evacuation. Now, Chernobyl, that was pretty bad. It's certainly not the worst industrial accident, right? I mean, Bhopal, India was far worse than that a couple years before that. But let's take things in context. And